What's up, Shred Sexuals? Welcome back. Death to the Fingers, the Elusive Sunday edition. Now listen, there's going to be swearing in this video, so if you're sensitive and you're a pussy, fuck off. No, I am not fucking sorry. Some of this stuff drives me crazy. We have to reclaim the internet a little bit. Probably get kicked off YouTube, whatever. Fuck it. Some guitar red pills. Number one, it's a form of gearitis, which is the desire to want to buy a really expensive instrument without actually investing the time to become competent as a musician, to sort of give that as like a goal to work towards. You know what I mean? You just jump the queue, take 7 steps at once, and just get this $3,000 guitar because you think it's going to make you sound better or play better or whatever else. That's a cope. I'm not saying you have to play a crappy instrument. What I'm saying is you buy like the $700 instrument, which is still really nice, by the way. I saw at my local music store, there was a $700 EVH Wolfgang. It was a tobacco sunburst kind of one. It was pretty decent, man. Now, I was very tempted to buy it myself. I'm like, no, you don't need another guitar, you idiot. But that's just it. It was really nice. You know what I mean? So that was $600. Used, of course, and here's the thing, and you know what I mean? That used to be a thing, actually, for us. In the old days, we'd go to the music consignment stores and the hawk shops or whatever else it is, and try to find a good deal. And you still can, actually, incidentally. There's no shame in it. Getting a great instrument that just plays well. Pierre came here last night. We were recording music. He brought his new Legator 7-string. He got it for $400. It sounds absolutely punishing when we threw it through the Helix. Man. So there's, you know what I mean? $400. And he made it sound like the $2,000 guitar. So it's very simple. The gear doesn't make the guitar player. The guitar player uses really quality gear to elevate what's already there. And that's just it. You don't have to be the shred maestro. You just have to be competent and confident. And that's sorely missing, right? So stop worrying about whether you can get like the super quintuple A, flame graded maple top or whatever it is with the, the bird's eye maple neck or whatever. It's all relative. Get a decent guitar, work your ass off for like 5 years and be like, I deserve this now. I promise you, if you do it like that, you'll get better results. Because you'll be like, I have this really nice guitar, but I don't actually sound that much better, realistically speaking. You'll know the truth. Doesn't matter what your friends say. You'll know. And then, of course, you'll just kind of lose the spark and quit. And then you'll have a nice $3,000 piece of fucking wall art or whatever it is. I don't know, or hawk it or sell it or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Which is almost even more humiliating. So, because you get like $1,000 for it. So you took a $2,000 haircut because, you wanted to jump the queue. Use it as an incentive to be like, I need to get to X level, whatever that level is. Be able to play this song or solo like this guy, my favorite guitar player, whatever it is. Set that bar and then work towards it seriously. And that leads to number 2, which is, this belief, if you will, as far as, you're not skilled enough, or I don't know enough theory, or let's see what else is there. My gear sucks. When the truth is your practice regime blows. And what I mean by that is you're not capitalizing on your strengths, and instead you're just wallowing in misery and then just accentuating all of the weaknesses. You haven't sat down enough and really contemplated what it is that you want to do and how to go about doing that in the best way for you. Nobody can tell you that, man. I don't control your hands. I don't control how you perceive the fretboard or learn. You know what I mean? People think it's about shred or being really fast or some other nonsense. It's not. That is the farthest thing from it. If it's a tool in the toolbox, that's awesome, but it's not necessary. There's a trillion guitar players that play awesomely with no shred whatsoever. And their shit is just as hard as anything else. I promise you that. Okay? And to just come up with it on the fly like that and play is next level. That's really the sort of like standout point. And that's just it. They capitalized on their strengths. They understood who they were as a musician, guitarist or keyboardist or drummer, whatever it is. And then they worked towards logical goals. And you can see that. Almost all the top guys, all of them, they're like, I sat down, listened to my favorite players, kind of made a list of things that I was interested in, and then they kept following up on it over and over and over again, which gets to the next one. It's like, oh, I don't need to learn theory. Yes, you fucking do have to learn theory if you want to be a good musician. I'm sorry, red pill of the maximum degree. You know? And that's just it. There's this epidemic of learning licks and cover songs and everything else. That's a platform. Okay? A platform for you to sort of see music contextually. Oh, this solo's in A minor, pentatonic. Well, what's the major diatonic key that you're talking about? Because that unlocks the whole thing for soloing and chords and the cage system and you name it. 3 notes per string, the arpeggios, blah, 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 blah. And you're telling me that's not important. If you're like, oh, that's C major. So now you're like, it's C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C major again. Okay, that's not fucking useful? You're right, fuck it. You know, now, what, are you going to take it to an extreme and learn all the dominant 7 and then apply the melodic minor and the harmonic minor? I don't know. Are you? That's the thing. Have you really sat down and been like, what's the most important thing for me to learn? And then actually put yourself to task to figure it out. Reverse engineer shit if you have to. It's probably beneficial, I can tell you also. You know, a lot of these people just sat there and learned other people's solos. It's not the playing of the solo part that they were practicing. It was training their fucking ear when they were listening to that solo over and over and over again to figure it out on the instrument until they figured out all these complex techniques. And I promise you after that, they're like, okay, well, how does that fit into the big picture? That's why they're great. They already know this shit. So if you're asking me if you don't have to learn music or this, that, or whatever else it is, you don't have to. You're right. You don't. And you'll never be a really good musician. You'll always be pretty mediocre. You'll be able to do stuff competently. But as soon as a good musician shows up, you're done. Next on the list is like every person creates their own heaven and their own hell. And that's true about things like, you know, protecting your hobby, I guess. Or your community, as the kids like to say these days. And we're just kind of like throwing music to the wolves, and as we always do. I mean, I kind of remember the Napster years. I got it myself, actually, when I released an album called Rights. It showed up on this Russian torrent site, and then they just, it just spread like a disease. And of course, I made $0, but you know, hundreds of downloads later, that'd be nice. If I just got $1 for each one of those, I would have made like $1,000, which would have been amazing, right? But that's just it. You know, you get red pilled in your own way, but I didn't really do anything. And at the time, I'll admit, I downloaded some albums and stuff like that. And I was tacit about basically releasing your album in full on YouTube and all the rest of that stuff. No more singles, you know what I mean? It was just like release the full album. And I understand why bands did it too. It's like you're strong-armed into the situation. But still, at some point in time, you have to be like, this is the line in the sand and we're not going any further. And if you do, it's a fight. And I don't know if we're just not going to get there, but we're being overrun with AI music. It's I don't think people appreciated, that a lot of people got really saucy with me by using the AI backing tracks on the Twitters, man. They just absolutely fucking hated it. And I'm just like, you got to fight fire with fire here, boys, because AI basically stole all our music. It was the largest sort of like intellectual property heist of all time. They just unleashed their whatever algorithmic monster, digital monster to just consume. Have you ever seen that crazy scene from Transformers 2, I think it is, where it's that spinning sort of like snake monster that just starts chewing through a skyscraper and stuff? It's an absolutely nutty sort of CGI scene. You're just like, damn, man. Like, what? That's got to be $1 million plus just for that scene. It's just nuts. But that's what it is. We have this big, beautiful, shining building that was music, and then this thing showed up and just started tearing through it and just consuming it. I mean, think about the fight that we're in when a lot of people were just kind of collectively shrugged when Spotify was like, oh, if you don't get X amount of plays, we're just going to take whatever money you made from the plays that you did get and just give it to somebody else. And everybody was just like, yeah, fuck it, I guess. Releasing full albums on YouTube or other things, like piracy is part of it. I get it. But we have to have some self-respect and be like, listen, if you actually support the bands and stuff like that, you actually want to have a meaningful sort of music community, you have to have, standards to a certain degree. And that's just it. Notice when we dropped the standards so low that we just flooded the market with the lowest of the low type, like lowbrow music. Now we're at fucking AI. It's just, it's crazy to me. But that's just it. We keep allowing it. And that could be said about a lot of other aspects of society. But I'm talking about music right now, and that's just it. I don't see any real pushback. When music is gone, like real music, and it'll be gradual, man. Like everything else, if you know, kind of thing, like if you've been around for a while, you're like, I've seen this gradual transition in my society overall. And then you hit like this critical tipping point, and there's no going back. You're like, it'll never go back to what it was before. When it was better, honestly, it really was. It wasn't perfect, I'll admit it. But it was better. And we just didn't do anything. And I'll admit, I'm just as guilty as anybody. I mean, I've made up on the back end, sort of. But still, I'm insignificant in the big picture, man. And we're just kind of abandoning our responsibilities to maintain a healthy community with real musicians. And I understand there's challenges there too. Like you put your music out on the internet, it's going to be instantly scraped. But that's just it. We have to transition away from things like YouTube and Spotify. And unfortunately, it means we're going to have to open up our own website that can handle money and stuff. I saw a guy with a brilliant idea. He puts up a song and then people can donate money and it unlocks a certain portion of the song time-wise. So if he wants to make $75, whatever it is, then 75 people or whatever, you have to make X amount of donations to get to that $75. Then everybody can just enjoy this piece of music for free. You know what I mean? It's a smart idea. The people that are really into it, that have the extra resources, can be like, yeah, I can throw you $1. You know what I mean? And then other people that are like, I'm poor, and I don't know if I want to buy this album or not, but they can go there and listen to some already unlocked songs that are made available and taken down, if you will, by the artists themselves. So, I mean, there are actual solutions out there. We're paralyzed with this sort of convenience factor, and we have to stop. And I mean, I get it. It's hypocritical as fuck as I'm out here basically making this message on social media, the very social media, but that's just it. When I grew up on the internet, there were fucking tens of thousands of websites. There's this homogenization down to like 5 fucking sites. It's terrifying. It's not just the control factor. It is the death of individuality and sort of like your own uniqueness. You know, you see this on social media with respect to guitars, this fake guitar shit, this whatever. It's like video over actual musical substance. I watched a Mateus Asado video this morning that was devastating. Clearly him playing. Still a really good video, but clearly him playing the actual music. Now, granted, he's one of the best guitar players in the world, but still, that's my thing. There's nothing stopping you from doing a video like that. It may not be as good, but I can tell you almost anybody with any real sort of like pedigree would be like, I would rather watch a person do it and make a mistake here and there or whatever else, and all the greats do, than sort of be assailed, if you will, with this fakeness of whatever it is. It's beyond air guitar now because it's pure vanity and pride. It's like music is a stool for these people to stand on to be like, look at me. I just want to punch them in the fucking face, you know what I mean? Metaphorically speaking, you know, I don't want violence is bad. But you know what I mean? It's just so irritating to me. I saw this fucking douchey guy. He was like sitting on the floor playing his guitar like this, like with the guitar on the floor part, like just straight up and down almost. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I can't even take your music seriously, man. I can't get past the video part. You look like such a pretentious asshole right now. I'm just like, I want to fucking quit music because people might think I'm fucking doing the same thing you're doing. It's cringe as fuck. It's getting worse too, man. I think there was a video about Rick Beato and a couple other people basically being AI cloned now. So they're just fucking the rich people or whatever, the successful people, they're getting fucking, they're the vanguard, right? It's going to get worse. So that's my thing. Again, you see all of these sort of like issues, if you will, funneling into this one sort of like final apotheosis, which is the music itself, the community. It just deteriorates to the point where people become disenfranchised with it, and then there's no real effort to sort of keep the one of the most important institutions human beings have ever created alive. I mean, I get it. There'll always be that. But do we really want to go back to a time where it's like only the rich and powerful people that can go to the opera and watch a symphony or whatever, be entertained on the big days in church and stuff like that? Is that what you want? When I was walking uptown, and I'll leave it at this, there used to be at least 4 or 5 bars on the strip. And they'd have bands every, 2-3 times a week. It's gone. It's just gone now. That sort of hub of socialization, which, it's the atomization. That's what I'm worried about. I get it. I'm on the internet too, man. I'm introverted as fuck, but I still used to go. And I don't go to those places anymore because the ones that do exist now have been converted into places that I don't think I'd be feeling very comfortable at because I just don't fit in, politically speaking, if you will. Right? And honestly, it's a circus of mediocrity. That's my biggest issue. You go see a band there, it's not even that good anymore, man. I'll never forget a band called Planet. They were playing, I think it was in Gatineau, Quebec. We were across the bridge. We were living in Ottawa at the time. I was going to University of Ottawa for an honors degree in business administration, but we're checking this band out, and they were fucking devastating. Like, you wouldn't believe this, like nailing Soundgarden and stuff perfectly. I was just like, it's not possible. It's not that guy had a purple Music Man, which is the reason why I have the green one. That's how good they were. You know what I mean? That's the impression. You'd almost never find that now, and even the bands that do exist. I mean, there's people out there touring right now. You shouldn't be touring. Big bands. I get it. That's all you know, and that's your life. I get that. I really do. But please stop. You're tarnishing your image, and you're tarnishing the music too. You can't pull it off anymore, man. I'm sorry. Time comes for us all, I guess, but you got to know when to pack it in, because it just gets embarrassing, right? Cringy to like, you're like, woo, damn, no. So, you know, we have to sort of reclaim this space, if you will, and sort of make a few things priority, and also, you know, just relax a little bit too, and stop being so pretentious about too many things. You know, I can listen to mindless pop music and then enjoy the most guttural slam metal, you know what I mean, where it's barely human anymore, or black metal. So you got to have a diverse set of tastes and stuff like that to appreciate music in all its forms, and then support that. And just develop your own individuality and uniqueness. Do not let it get paved over, for fuck's sakes. Right? And then if you're going to do it seriously, sit down and think about what it is that you want to accomplish as your goals, and then how to get your product out there without being raped by the powers that be. And if we do that, then we'll keep this bad boy on life support at least. And hope for the best, I guess. I mean, the kids these days, it's not looking good, man. I mean, I get it. I really do. Because, man, are they ever in a hard place. But that's what I'm talking about. How do you keep something alive when the next generation or whatever is so preoccupied, because it's literally survival at this point? Can you blame like the younger generations as they get out into the real world? It's just a fucking gong show right now. You know. So I get it, but still, having said that, right? It's up to us. You and me, the people watching this video right now that care enough. Especially if you're following this channel, man, I have not candy coated the music thing at all. You know what I mean? So kudos to you. I am the grouchy old bastard that's like, get the fuck off my lawn. Absolutely. And I'm going to continue to be that way, because, you know, we have to have some fucking standards and be like, meet levels of excellence. And that doesn't mean you have to be fucking the next Steve Vai, but it means elevate your music enough that people would be like, that was a good goddamn song. End of story. Then go out there and play it for people, entertain them, be fucking real, live long and fucking prosper. See you in the next one.